Hello, and welcome to a new Warhammer update vid. This time, if you hello, my name is Brian Wheeler. I have straw in my mouth. I used to talk right because heat stroke thing happened in the military. Can't talk right, biting down. Moving on. All right. So I did two more matches against Orks, which I've done already, and a match against uh, Necrons, which I have not yet played before. Now, a guy told me of a battle, this app called, oh gosh, I just brought it up, Tabletop Battles, which is able to keep track of your points, stuff like that. It's a little bit wonky, but it's able to keep track of points and stuff, and that's what I like using anyway. So, he told me that after the fact, and was like, oh, okay, so I could have used that this whole time, which is nice to use. It keeps track of how many I win, lose, blah, blah, blah. So, that's nice. But, Necrons, which uh, I've not faced before, but I know they're one of the top armies to face military wise forever. And so I went in knowing that I'm probably going to lose because I know Necrons are pretty strong and I'm still a beginner, etc. And sure enough, I lose. Now, Necrons were, I lost, score was 74, 41 from what I gather. I just, it wasn't even the reanimation protocol per se. I mean, seemingly Necrons are kind of squishy that I can get rid of. It's the point that again, list building type thing, I couldn't really do. I kept targeting the unit. I kept targeting infantry with my vehicles when I should be targeting the stuff with the vehicles against vehicles. Second time in a row, I didn't do that, and it backfired. Very bad on me because I didn't take those out. Those things just destroyed everything else. And again, building list wise, trying to do a 2,000 point list or whatever, I don't think. Because what you could do is you make, as opposed to having multiple units, just make a 10-man unit with a leader. I know that costs one hand more points, but at the same time, stronger unit cohesion, and it just adds to be better overall. And it's just kind of like, I think I conceded in the fourth round because it's like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to win this, not at this point, and pretty much was that thing. So that's just the way it left it at that. Now then, the I can't be disappointed because I knew I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna lose this match. So that was my fifth overall solo match, and no, fourth overall solo match, and I lost. So I didn't think too much of it. It was like, probably gonna lose, and I did. That's okay. At least I did some sort of damage. I wiped out one unit that he can't, revive because if they're all dead, they can't. So did pretty bad. But I'm not. My mindset is going into every game since the Death Guard game. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm gonna try to win this game. I'm just gonna be like, I'm going in to have fun. Because if I go in to try to win every single game, I'm not learning. I'm not having fun. I'd rather learn and have fun because it makes it more interesting to win in the future. So that's my viewpoint. Now today I versed a man with Orks. Second time facing Orks. Completely different list build than the first time. Again, the first guy I played, first time he ever played with Orks, so I was like, okay, this guy much more concentrated on what he wanted to do, and I think he's been playing a long time. Yes, I lost 85-25, 83-25. I can actually give you details with this thing. The mission stuff was scorched earth, no extra stuff. I had the reason why the points are so lopsided. I had terrible secondaries. The deployment zone, oh gosh, type thing. I don't think it says, or does it? Let me see. Game setup. That was in that. Yeah, players, mission. Okay. It was search and destroy. That was the kind of layout. So you have, I can show it to you. You have basically a Gosh, why is the glare so... It is very glary, and I do not know under why. There we go. That doesn't help at all. Did that help? Barely. Okay, you can kind of see it that way. You have a 2-zone thing here. The one deployment zone, the other deployment zone, and opposite corners of the board. That's fine. So, it became... I had absolutely terrible secondary pulls throughout the thing. I got to go first. On the first turn, I had like behind enemy lines and secure no man's land. What? I was like, there's no way I can go behind enemy lines when it's team like behind first thing and secure no man's land. I was like able to get something. But the one thing I did do finally is I targeted. He came with 2 vehicles, trucks, 2 trucks. That's all he came with, vehicles, and the rest he had a lot of guys on like these beasts, swig boys or whatever they're called. He had a lot of different things like that could move around the board quick, advance, stuff like that. These squig boys, that's what they did. They again, shooting wise, I don't think he did anything to me at all game shooting wise. He couldn't. His shooting every time he rolled the shoot just did do single thing at all. It just didn't. And I know that's the way Orks are played, so it's like, okay, that's useful. But it didn't do jack, because like secure no man's land. Okay, behind enemy lines. Then the next round was assassination and overwhelming force. Can be kind of doable, but I was not in a position where I can target any of that. And then, I mean, that's the only secondaries I got in the entire game was overwhelming force and secure no man's land. I had area denial, tempting target. It was just like, yeah, it's not going to happen. I tried so much I blew up 1 truck in the beginning. All the guys fell out. Didn't take any wound stuff, fortunately, or took very little. I tried to put Kevin Shriek, the jump pack intercessors, and Vanguard back where his squig boys were to try to attack and wipe them out. Both failed the charges. Can't charge in close enough. And he has guys that are right there. And they're close enough to get in. And they just basically, because they sustain hits on melee, they just basically wipe me out both times in like one go. Now, mind you, the way I have the list right now set up, I have like, 5 of everything. 5 jump pack intercessors, 5 Vanguard. I know people say like, we should do 10 guys and stuff. Like, yes, for a 1,000-point list, I'm trying to work on that or trying to do something with that. Thinking of doing that with Sternguard. But my Storm Speeder, did do some damage, but it didn't do enough. And I was using a repulsor proxy, of course. But I fell back from mood where I should have just stayed in. He's like, yeah, you can't shoot once you fall back. If you fall back from a fighting thing, I'm like, well, crap. I didn't realize that, but that's part of the rules. So I could have stayed in and just shot the things the entire time. It blew up anyway. It did. I got a repulsor and it blew up, and it killed a few things, but killed half of my squads that were around it too. I was like, oh boy, that sucked. It was very bad. So I was just like, meh. But, so yeah, he was scoring all the points and everything. I tried to take away the objectives. I just couldn't manhandle it and stuff. I actually did screw up on one thing of the list. Because it's made a 2,000 point list, I was like, well, let me make a 10-man thing of Sternguard. I have 6 total because I have 1 extra from Warhammer giving it to me. And I would use 4 caps for a proxy list of 10 Sternguard. Well, I put out 5, but then when I looked at my list, I'm like, wait, why is my Sternguard 200? I didn't realize I was making a 10-man list. I'm like, oh, that could have been 100 points I used to something else, and I screwed that up. But I realized that during the game. I'm like, I looked on the board, I'm like, no, I'm not going to change it. So I didn't change anything, and I'm not going to. If I put out what's there, and I mess up with something on the board, on my list or whatever, I'm not going to change it or anything like that. Now, there is something, I did try to use a Hell Blaster idea The Hellblaster Apothecary, uh, Hellblaster Apothecary I know is a good strat. I don't know what to use to lead. They need something to lead them. And I don't know what. That is the issue. I need to look at stuff that where I can get kind of sustained hits or rapid fires or something. There it is again. That thumb. What? I don't get where that thumb thing's from. I'm trying to get rapid fires or sustained hits. That's why I chose the Stern Guard for now, because they have a couple things that do that, so I can get lethal hits on that. But I need to think of something different, because the captain, unless the free stratagem type thing, and he has the fight thing for devastating wounds. Other than that, I don't really like having a captain. It doesn't really add anything. He has maybe slightly better melee and one extra wound. I've used a captain on a list twice now, and I just don't see a real reason to have it. I just don't at the moment. Or maybe I just don't know how to use them. Really, that might be it. But again, this is the advantage I'd say for using caps, because I can kind of get a feel for what I'm using, what I not want to use. Like I was thinking, maybe a chaplain jump pack for chaplain jump pack isn't necessarily that good. Actually, rethinking it, I think it is. After playing without it for a little while, having that extra leader for the Vanguard, or if I'd switch it around, probably the Vanguard, because he would add extra to the wound roll, and with the lethal hits that Vanguard get on a charge and everything like that, it would make it a more interesting combo. And I think I want to keep that. So I think I think I do want to get the Chaplain with, like, he's better for melee. Like if I did a Chaplain and Terminator armor, put it with the Terminators, or Chaplain jump pack. I think I'm going to stick with that Chaplain jump pack, because I think it adds up. I just need to find. I just need to order it. That's all I need to do. But the infiltrators, I do need to get them. Which I found out the infiltrator box, you can make half infiltrators, the other half incursors. Perfect. That's what I'm going to do. I left the thing in the car, so I don't have it with me at the moment. But it's going to be in the. I'll show it in another video. I ordered the Phobos Lieutenant, and it is. I painted it orange initially. I didn't like it, so I repainted him purple. He looks good, but you'll see him how he is. But the Phobos Lieutenant is very useful, regardless of what thing you put him with, because not being able to be outside is great. But the problem is with Orks, that doesn't matter. They can target you anyway, because they don't really shoot that well. So when they get up close, that's their whole objective, is just get in close and smash stuff. It's just kind of like, well, that's pointless. Almost. It's not pointless, because it is useful, because if you can't target me at all from shooting, then that's useful. So I can't complain. I just don't see a need for the captain. Honestly, if you're watching this, give suggestions of what I could use the captain for, or how to use him for, or what I could pair him with. Like, I know there's a thing called Blade Guard Vets. Not used anything with Blade Guard Vets before. Not that I've actually looked at their stats or anything. Maybe I should. Just to see, like, what do Blade Guard Vets offer? Can he do well with that? Because he'll have a Relic Shield. I don't know. But I don't know. Just give advice of what to do with the captain. What can I pair with the Hellblasters? Because if I do a Phobos Lieutenant, I can put that with Incursors, because they can kind of move up with the Scout ability in the first turn. And then he can kind of keep them moving at different times, as long as they're not engagement range with anything, So that's just kind of like interesting. But it's only after he's shot, and it's like, all right, that's useful. So I don't know. Just basically, I don't know what. I want something to lead the Hellblasters, and I guess it would be probably a lieutenant. I'd probably have to switch him to. But as of the moment, I don't know what to use the captain for. And I really don't know what to do, because I don't want the Apothecary leading the group of Hellblasters, but he only according to the profile, Apothecary can only be attached if it's a chapter master, captain, or lieutenant. That's the main reason I've been using the captain. So that way, because I can put the lieutenant with the stern guard and have the captain over there with the thing. So I could put the captain with the stern guard, but I still run into the same problem. It's just like, okay, besides the stratagem, what can I really do? And it's just kind of like, I don't know. Either way, give suggestions and everything like that. I know I lost against Orks this time, but 2 times played against Orks, and so far it's been my favorite thing to play against. It's just kind of fun. I don't know what it is about playing against Orks. It's just kind of fun with everything. It was just interesting to play against. So fifth single loss, 6 overall because of the team match. But again, it's fine. I don't mind it or whatever. And this app is useful. A little bit kind of weird kind of interface, but it is fun to still do with everywhere else. So, all right, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.